My first exposure to Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight was at Summer Games Done Quick 2016. Yes, I used to watch the speedrunning marathons before they became completely unwatchable due to the insufferable amounts of cringe. Listen, a little cringe is okay, but I'd really prefer if you'd be quiet. Momodora looked fun, and I put it on my wish list. Years later, I finally bought it as I succumbed to consumerism during one of Steam's many sales. My wallet weeps thinking about how much money I used to blow on those sales. But no longer. I am a conservative gamer on a very limited budget. If you're wondering, yes, I did in fact speedrun Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight. I remember very specifically learning the speedrun and practicing attempts on Canada Day. Then, I achieved my goal of sub 30 on the 4th of July. God bless America. Speedrunning really is where fun goes to die though, so I used my knowledge to get the platinum and then moved on with my life. Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight has a very modest 9 achievements. Most of them are dedicated to the classic, quote-unquote, collect everything set. There's a few for some saucy secrets, one for never dying, one for being a pacifist, which is cringe, and one for beating it on the hardest difficulty, insane. You can accomplish all of this in a minimum of 2 playthroughs, but I'm going to do a much more conservative 4. Shouldn't take too long for a former speedrunner such as myself. Straight into the first playthrough, this is the standard quote-unquote get everything run on normal difficulty. All of the health pieces, all of the ivory bugs, 100% map completion, and the hidden achievements. The Sacred Ordalia Grove is no big deal. It's just a matter of working through the tutorial area slowly and steadily. The tutorial area could never possibly be a giant nightmare, haha. The humble bellflower. Yes, Dark Souls style healing has permeated the cute girls doing cute things game. But I have reached the first secret area. A quick leaf slap and I found the first heart container. Whoa, that's a big guy. A tiny oversight in his hitbox means I can just stand right next to him and give him the sequential cellulose slaps with my leaf. This astral charm isn't overly useful, but I will be enjoying the map percentage. Crushing some of those disgusting little imps and oh my god, I got poisoned. Let me in! Let me in! Hidden under the save point is the first ivory bug. Yoink. Am I kawaii? Ugu? Well, the Dark Souls influence is real. Looking pretty well hidden behind that illusory wall there, health upgrade number 2. Super thicker chest here is also required. Well, not really, but I need the map percentage. I'm getting past the brappers and slappers that imp for ivory bug number 2. God, putting double jump in games really is the best decision you could ever make. Seriously, if you are making a 2D platformer, just put a double jump in. It makes the game at least twice as good. But I have now reached the end of the Sacred Ordalia Grove, where I am met by a boss, Arthropod Demon Adea. I will use the secret techniques learned from speedrunning. By charging the bow, you can attempt an instant kill by hitting the pearl at the right time as she takes a swing at you. Not quite this time around, but here is some other secret tech. Up, down, left, right on the D-pad, and I've got my little fairy friend blasting the whole area with laser beams. Thanks, little guy. Now I must utilize all of my skills in speedrun training to beat Adea without taking any damage. Because, if you beat a boss without taking damage, you get a reward. This time it's Adea's Pearl, which adds poison to your arrows. Pretty slick. I will now keep rolling into the next area and grabbing another ivory bug. Oh, a merchant, huh? I will be purchasing the Crystal Seed, giving me a temporary 50% attack power bonus on use. I ain't got time for witches or ghost dogs. I'm racing through this game. You know, the bow is pretty strong. Enemies really are just sitting there and taking it. But secret dogs are still dangerous. One more health upgrade and one more bellflower to go, please. Then I'll just keep rolling. What? A shortcut? Crazy, right? It really is Dark Souls for real. Dropping in on little Mocha. What's he all about? The power of the orb. Of course. Anyways, I use the bow from a safe distance to win easily. Not gonna lie, there were 2 obvious reasons why I was interested in this game. But because I am a seasoned speedrunner at this point, I can easily crush Lubella. I beat those breasts like a pair of bongo drums. For never getting hit, the Backman patch is mine, as is a brief conversation with a character who does indeed exist in this game. Yeah, there are a few NPCs and most of them are here for like a paragraph's worth of dialogue and then they're never seen again. It really is exactly like Dark Souls. Anywho, it's time to enter the subterranean grave, which has water. Classic 2D platforming water too. You swim by jumping. God, this game really just gets it all right. Speaking of rights, somebody just left the garden key here in this underwater cave. I love all of those horrible YouTube channels on underwater cave diving accidents. Just truly my comfort listening. I can't wait for the day when they all run out of juice so they themselves become cave divers for content. Just kidding, that's never going to happen because they are so blatantly overrun with AI scripts and voiceover content, we just truly can't have nice things anymore. But just like those channels are out of content, I'm out of the water. I'm climbing these swinging platforms and snatching up another health upgrade along with that precious map percentage. I smell another shortcut nearby. Giving the backman a double slap and then waiting for the bomb. I'm back at the start. This does indeed look like a boss arena, so I better smash that ghost cat lady so she doesn't bother me. I was right, it was a boss. Another boss I'd like a hitless kill on. I'll summon the rage of the fairies once again and then just sit in the corner unloading arrow after arrow after arrow. Derelict! Frida isn't the most challenging boss, alright? Especially when you get a good pattern and she just summons ads over and over again. A classic get a mechanic moment. A handful of dodges later and I've got a free kill. Sparse thread collected. This causes a very damaging explosion directly around Kaho. It's good. I can also collect the first crest fragment. This is both a MacGuffin for progress, but also an upgrade. This one in particular lets me charge my bow faster. I will have to return to this area in true Metroidvania fashion, but for now, I will simply leave through the alternative exit with my garden key to Whiteleaf Memorial Park. I did a couple of quick in and outs for map percentage and I found a bellflower. Down at the save, I'm doing a cheeky crystal consume followed by a bell bash to restock it. Entering a rematch with Lubella with my beefed up attack power. Take this! And she's gone. Lubresta over here is more lethal this time around. Those two holes on either side are no joke. Hey, you get your mind out of the gutter. The orbs are easy enough to dodge with some fancy footwork, if you've spent a not insignificant amount of time practicing, of course. I've won through 1,000 poisoned arrows, but a forced death? This really is just like Dark Souls. Forced to live my life as a cat. Would have preferred frog, but okay. A brief exploration excursion for the map percentage and some bugs. With that complete, I'm exiting the area, never to return. I'm rewarded with the cat sphere and the ability to shift forms at will. The cat's quick, but it can't climb ladders. Slapping the lever on the elevator and I've arrived at the Forlorn Monastery. Save point activated and the deets obtained, but I've got some backtracking to do. I must return to the start of the game, but I won't turn down another health upgrade along the way. An armored knight appears? Oh my god, it's immune to arrows. Leave me alone. Worked it in. Anyways, secret bug is secret. A completely invisible platform is right here. I'm snatching that bug, then I'm out of here, all the way back to where I beat down Adia. With the cat sphere, I can squeeze through and enter Ferror Ciel, which of course has new map percentage, collectibles, and most importantly, the crest fragment. This one allows teleporting between save points. It really is just like Dark Souls. On the way out, I snag the cheekily hidden bug and I'm warping back to the Forlorn Monastery. Now I'm just ripping right to find another save point and a witch with many cats. Cats just like me! Story dumped and I've got the monastery key. Time to double back. There's another health fragment in the immediate area and I'm warping back. God, getting that warp early was really the right call. I started off by going right, now it's time to go up and around. The quest for all the map percentage and collectibles continues. Ding dong! This weirdo has a tainted missive. This grants a massive attack power boost, but consumes some HP. Now it's time to make use of that key from the crazy cat lady. But there's always time for some secret item finding. Ew, gross, a used tissue? Pardoner Fennel is easily dispatched by the Backman patch, so I will choose not to use it. Instead, I'm going to resort to blasting arrows and some sparse thread explosions. Beating Fennel without getting hit means I get another tainted missive for my trouble. But more importantly is the third crest fragment. This one gives a new charge level to the bow. A very powerful rapid-fire barrage. Yeah, lady, I think this tissue belongs to you. In the future, please use the proper receptacle for your garbage. I've been to the right, I've been up, and now it's time to head down into these cinder chambers. I'm doing a quick round of exploration for some map percentage before heading towards the obvious boss of the area. Oh, it's a co-op boss. This really is just like Dark Souls. Heretical Arsonist just likes to blow stuff up, but she also likes to walk slowly towards you, menacingly. This is always a great opportunity to felt her with every arrow in your quiver, for real. Beating Heretical Arsonist without getting hit rewards you with the Pocket Incensory. This gives you fire damage to your leaf and arrows. You can also buy it later in the game, but it's expensive, and ain't nobody got time for farming money when you're speed blasting like me. The fourth and final crest fragment is here. This grants the air dash, which of course is needed for collectibles and backtracking. With all the crest fragments, the final area is unlocked, but I have a lot of exploration and collecting left to do, so that's gonna have to wait. The traps here hide a health fragment, a bug, and the cinder key. Who keeps leaving all these keys around? The quest for more map percentage continues as I dodge all of these spiked balls. Another bug and health fragment, and I'm shutting off these traps with the lever. Not that I'm coming back to the cinder chambers there, Chief. I'm bouncing up to the entrance and grabbing another hidden bug. Definitely needed the air dash for that one. Now let's head to the left to leave the cinder chamber forever. Oh look, it leads to the part of Whiteleaf Memorial Park that I haven't been to yet. How convenient. One more bug, one more health fragment, and even more map percentage. Whoa, hang on, and it takes me straight back to the monastery? Couldn't have planned that better myself, haha. Heading back to the subterranean grave, with cat form I can squeeze into some new places for ivory bugs and, ew, gross, a dirty shroom. Who the heck would want that? Probably one of those disgusting gremlins in Sacred Ordalia Grove, which has more cat-based backtracking to tackle. One more health upgrade and even more bugs. Then I'm trading the dirty shroom to the girl for the rotten bellflower and the first trophy. Please, please, please give it to me. I have to have it, please. Desperation's really not a good look there, kiddo. Done with the grove, it's back to the cinder chambers because I missed a crumb of map percentage. Rats. Anyways, now that that's done, let's head back to Whiteleaf Memorial Park for another hidden bug, as well as the tiny crumb of map percentage after the Lubella fight. That's wild, man. Anyways, no time like the present to head to the Royal Pinocathia? It's a museum, okay? A museum with more map percentage and collectibles hidden within. The door's stuck. Going the long way around as usual. But joke's on the game because I needed to do it anyways for the map percentage. This doesn't look safe, but I really need that health upgrade. Turned out okay. Another secret bug in the wall. Only need 4 more of those. Down to 3 almost immediately. Sweet. And then 2 as I flip the switches. Oh my god, please, please no. Really good thing that I got all of those health upgrades, isn't it? Because otherwise I might have died. My reward is the black sachet that I'll never use, and a bunch of money that I don't care to spend. Sick, bro. Now to backtrack to the switch room, and then I'm headed up this time. I gotta clear out all the enemies in here for the sealed wind, then I can head back down to the bottom. This route finally wraps back around to that locked door at the very start. And this locked door leads directly to another locked door, which you unlock by going the long way around. Nice. Anyways, that's all settled. I'm gonna abuse speedrun strats for Lupiar. If you inch yourself to this spot right here, you can pre-Backman patch to trash her as soon as she spawns in. The Backman patch deals extra fire damage with the Pocket Incensory. Then she gets a second Backman patch and 1 follow-up leaf slap. She's toasted. But it ain't over just yet. Magnolia's next. Despite being an archer, in Phase 2 she chooses a life of knife. This is a self-defense situation, and I'm exercising my right to bear arms. Beating this boss no-hit means I get the heavy arrows. These do more damage than Adia's Pearl, so it's finally getting swapped out. Keep rolling down as I enter the castle? Is that like a cat or an owl? I don't even know, but I do know that I'm in the castle and I made it to the next warp point inside. Which means it's time for some final backtracking. A return to the monastery. Hey, where'd that woman go? This cheeky windmill right here has a secret. The sealed wind activates it, which opens up the cat door. Inside this area is a pool with hibisco tea. You can take your leaf from your hip, and I dip, you dip, we dip to get the green leaf. The green leaf is not better than the red leaf in any way, other than putting you on the path to the good ending, which of course is required because it's an achievement. Speaking of achievements, let's find Archpriestess Choir since I gotta beat her into submission. Oh, there she is. Enough rambling. Have at you. I will simply choose to spam arrows. There is a reason I chose to do Archpriestess Choir last. Heavy arrows in the Pocket Incensory turns her into a complete joke. Her balls are simply too small or too slow to cause me any problems. I am a known ball dodger after all. Finally, smashing her face into the pavement gives me the faithful trophy. All mandatory backtracking is accomplished. Time to finish this game out. Teleporting back to Karst Castle, there are still some collectibles and map percentages to collect. An ivory bug just hanging out in midair? Just kidding, it was on a platform. Then it's up, around, and back down to find a lever. Oh, it was just right here? Shortcut unlocked. What's one more roundabout detour for a vitality fragment between us friends? Followed by another detour for a bellflower and another vitality fragment that requires an iota of forethought to pick up. You really don't want to leave yourself stranded. Back onto the main path now, and the end is in sight. Oh hey, I remember that girl. No, I actually don't remember her name. But I will take the full healing Passiflora. A secret hidden room holds the final vitality fragment. That's the healthy achievement down. Let's just mosey on up to the top and... oh no. The clone angel. Only one of them is real. And it just so happens that it's always the slightly lower one. 2 uses of Frida's sparse thread and a follow-up leaf smack means that I've won. Moving on. The end's in sight, but behind this trap is the final ivory bug. That's collected, and that's the bug collector achievement done. There's rewards for those bugs, so let's go ahead and backtrack to Whiteleaf Memorial Park and get them. For no reason at all. Was it worth it? Not a chance, bro. This is just some money that I'm not going to spend. The Hazel Badge and another full healing Passiflora. But we can do something with that Hazel Badge too, so let's do it. Back to Sacred Ordalia Grove for the Blessing Charm. I'm never going to use this because it's like every shield item in Mega Man games. Borderline useless. Back to the final save in Karst Castle, I need a smidge. A tiny crumb of map percentage. Just gotta inch my way forward in the boss room and got it. Explorer achievement unlocked. I'm dawdle maxing and moseying pilled, so let's see what that unlocks too, why not? I'm heading all the way back to the Cat Witch in the monastery. That locked door is now unlocked. This is the secret developer room, just a fun little Easter egg. That's everything. The only thing left in this playthrough is to finish the game by taking on the accursed Queen of Karst. Feeble cursed one. I've got my speedrun strats down pat, so this is a cinch. I'm smashing her face in with buffed up arrows in phase 1. Then I'm standing around in phase 2 for her to spin her spells around, and then finally unloading arrows into her. As a patrician leaf dipper, I get the privilege of a third and final phase. A combination of leaf slaps and fully charged arrows makes short work of the final phase. But probably a good thing I got those Passifloras, whoops. Listen, I'm truly on autopilot here, but the fight is over. Grug reigns supreme, always. With the green leaf, I get the true ending, which also happens to be an achievement. That's 6 of the 9 achievements down. What's next? The next playthrough is doing Pacifist and Imperishable. I'm gonna be doing this on easy, of course. Pacifist just means you can't kill anything other than bosses. You're still allowed to damage enemies. As long as they don't die, you're totally fine. A leaf slap here or there is totally acceptable. Imperishable means you have to beat the game without dying, which is kind of not true. If you do die, you just need to quit instead of continuing, then you reload your previous save. Honestly, that's a pretty easy achievement when you understand that small nuance. I'm playing on easy, so I got tons of health. I'm body tanking all these hits and rolling past everything else that comes my way. Sure, may as well grab a few of the easy health containers along the way. Out of the grove in record time, but here's Adia once again. And yes, you do have to kill her. No pacifism allowed on boss fights. Another relatively quick kill without getting hit, and Adia's Pearl is acquired. May as well grab that crystal for even more power, too. Then it's just rolling down to Lubella again. After trashing the tastiest version of coffee, the delicious mocha. After so many speedruns, this truly is a formality. Lubresta here's defeated, and I will now continue to roll through this game. The route deviates a bit here in Pacifist because of that one enemy in Frida's boss room. Yes, I am serious. So instead, I'm grabbing the garden key, and then heading all the way to Whiteleaf Memorial Park, after opening the shortcut, of course. I'm heading straight to Lubella 2. I have instantly put my speedrunning brothers to shame by getting hit. But that's okay, because the reward for beating Lubella 2 without getting hit sucks anyways. I'm a cat, let's go! I'm instantly grabbing the cat sphere and then headed up to the Forlorn Monastery. Then backtracking to the Sacred Ordalia Grove. Hey, that crest fragment lets me warp, so it makes sense to get it first. For speed. Leaf slap? Shut your big yap. Yes, this is still fine. Technically a boss. Back to the grove, I became a cat, entered Ferror Ciel, and then grabbed the crest fragment. Warpin's back on the menu, boys! I'm heading back to the Forlorn Monastery and grabbing the key from the crazy cat lady. Then I'm off to fight Pardoner Fennel. Wow, that was rude. Interrupting my Backman patch? Pardoner Fennel is not immune to arrows. More like Pardoner Felted, am I right, gamers? Fennel enters phase 2, where she buffs herself. That's where I finally get my second Backman patch off. She donezo. Crest Fragment acquired, and I'm down into the Cinder Chambers again. The Heretical Arsonist explodes onto the scene. And yeah, I just kind of kept my distance and shot her with arrows over and over while dodging her fire teleport. I beat her without getting hit, and I get a Pocket Incensory, and that's a huge damage boost for me. Collecting the Crest Fragment gets me the Air Dash, and that means I can finally go back to tackle Frida. That's right, all of that rerouting was just so I can jump and Air Dash into the boss fight and not spawn this one enemy. Since I have the Pocket Incensory this time, Frida gets even more trash than before. Up to the Royal KKK at the museum, okay? I'm just out here running past everything, body tanking hit after hit after hit. I will be the bigger man and forgive them. A true pacifist turns the other cheek. Except on Duchess Lupiar. She's getting the full force of the Pocket Incensory Leaf. I beefed the no-hit, but really who cares about that? I'm not resetting, okay? I went through the castle to the first save point and then I warped back. Just to be a little bit zesty, you can absolutely get the good ending while doing Pacifist. You just have to take off your damaging accessories and lightly spank this witch a few times to knock her off the ledge. Then you can use the Sealed Wind without killing her. A quick in and out and you can become a known dipper for the green leaf. Back on topic, it's Karst Castle again. This is just a straight shot to the end this time, I don't need anything else. But I'll take the free big heal and a final health upgrade on the way, sure, whatever. Clone Angel's feeling the full force of Frida's Sparse Thread. It's pretty good when you know that the angel that spawns lower is the real one. Definitely makes the fight a lot simpler, don't it? After a brief platforming segment and dodging the magic attacks, I've reached the end. The Queen of Karst is getting the business. Pocket Incensory and Poison Arrow spam is winning the day. Ranged attacks really are humanity's greatest military weapon after all. Some people think that we became the dominant species with our intelligence. No, it was because we learned how to throw a rock. Queen of Karst phase 2 is mostly just waiting around for her to stop fidget spinning so I can actually kill her. It is so over for her. Since I chose to do phase 3 for the good ending, the accursed Queen of Karst can taste the full brunt of my overpowered items. Backman Patch, Sparse Thread, and Charged Arrows. It's never been more over for her. That's 2 more achievements down, Pacifist and Imperishable. There's only one left. The final playthrough is here. I just have to beat the game on Insane for the Don't Try This trophy. This is a completely stripped down playthrough. Just gotta win on Insane. Remember how I said the Sacred Ordalia Grove was no big deal? Oh boy, does that ever change on Insane. Speaking of Insane, you need to beat the game on hard mode first to unlock Insane. These playthroughs are basically exactly the same, so I'm only going to go over Insane. Where the Sacred Ordalia Grove almost broke me. Almost. This area is filled to the brim with annoying enemies with shields. They've got ranged attacks, and to top it all off, there's poison all over the place. The poison is a huge problem on Insane. If you get poisoned, it's over. You have exactly 1 HP after all, so 1 tick is all it takes to take you down. The tutorial area took a heck of a lot of attempts and was easily the hardest part of this playthrough by like a huge margin. I knew that there was a reason that I learned to speedrun on easy like a complete coward. Slow and steady is going to win the race here. I'm going to spam arrows, but it is very easy to get hit a single time. The bow is definitely helping out for real. But eventually, I made it to the end by checkpoint hopping and holding back tears. Crushing a Dia no-hit feels like a walk in the park after getting through the grove. I almost nailed the instant kill, but I'll settle for a very fast kill instead. Adia's Pearl is a massive damage spike, but at the same time, it is poison, and it will kill me. I must avoid the brap clouds that I make. Back to the big bongo boss. Lubella did behave herself, although she did use quite a few orbs. Thank you for yet another Backman patch. I'm down into the subterranean grave. I once again grabbed the garden key and then worked my way up to Frida, snatching up a few health upgrades and opening the shortcut along the way. Hey, if I get enough of those health upgrades, I might be able to survive 1 attack. I took out the Fox Lady, because I am no longer being a lowly pacifist. Frida's easily dusted once again. The Backman patch and buffed arrows make short work of her. But she did put up a little bit of a fight. She forced me to dodge a couple of lasers, and then I had to run from side to side. But I've pinched her thread, and that's MacGuffin 1 down. Now I'm heading straight to Whiteleaf Memorial Park for the Lubella rematch. She ducked my Backman patch? Oh, come on. But it did clip her, so she got poisoned. Ball barrages are coming in hot, but I have ascended. I will not be distracted from my trophy hunt. Kaho becomes Cadho, and then quickly back to Kaho. It seems practical to pick up the Forlorn Monastery warp point. On the way back to Ardalia Grove, I just double-stringed the knight. Easy peasy. Wait, why didn't I do that the other times? Straight down as a cat to Ferrar CL. No tricks, just grabbing the crest fragment for warping and I'm gone. Straight back to Forlorn Monastery. See, it was totally worth it. The Cinder Chamber's call. It's really fast to get to the bottom when you're skipping everything. Heretical Arsonist is the boss I used to struggle with the most, but once you learn how to dodge her flame teleport, she's completely free. Double Backman patch into arrow spam with a final sparse thread and she's done hitless. The Pocket Incensory is mine, along with the Crest Fragment for the air dash. 3 of 4 MacGuffins down. Back to the monastery and running all the way to the end. Cat Witch chatted to for the key and then it's up to the top. Partner Fennel is no match for Adia's Pearl and the Pocket Incensory. Once she tries to buff in phase 2, she's dispatched with a second Backman patch. Alright, that's the Crest Fragments done. Back to Car City and up to the Pinot Cave. Okay, it's the museum. Okay, it's the museum. I just need an ending, so I'm skipping the Sacred Wind this time. Listen, that little place up there is super easy to get hit in, and I ain't got health for that. The rest of the level is a bit of a trek through, but skeletons are no match for my arrows. Just like Duchess Lupiar cannot stand up to a double beefed up Backman patch. Okay, she can, but not a follow-up whack after she gets some of her aggression out. Magnolia finds out who the better archer is the hard way. Once the dust settles, I take my heavy arrows to go. All I have to do is dodge the traps to get into the castle now. Victory is truly on the cusp. I could go around, but the Backman patch is carrying me once again. Using it at the save point gives me an easy shortcut. God, I love speedrunning for real. Imagine going the long way around. Just imagine. Ah, the full heal item. That will definitely be useful. The Clone Angel is really easy to beat. I'm buffing up with the Tainted Missive from Fennel, and then blasting the Free to Thread on the lower angel. The final gauntlet to reach the boss? Huh, not even scared. The Accursed Queen of Karst is exactly like the other playthroughs. Arrows in phase 1 while dodging all of her attacks. Once she enters phase 2, I get her to 50% health with arrows and the sparse thread before she can even finish her initial attack. She's already almost dead by the time she can start doing anything else. It's over. I've got the bad ending. But the bad ending still counts as beating the game, baby! That's the don't try this trophy in the bag, and by extension, the platinum. One more platinum in the bag for old Wesley. I don't know exactly how long this platinum took, but Steam says I have 52 hours of playtime in Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight. That makes a lot of sense when you take into account that I did a few very casual playthroughs, then I did a lot of full speedruns of progressively faster quickness. Of course, that was all after putting in a bunch of hours practicing bosses. Oh right, and I did the platinum, the whole topic of this video. The platinum's cut footage was like 3 hours and 30 minutes, but that excludes the many deaths on Insane's Sacred Ardalia Grove. I do like Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight quite a bit, but unfortunately, I think I have to lay it to rest. Speedrunning really just killed my interest in playing it. I can't see Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight in any other light other than as a speedrun now. Since I know all of the tricks, it just seems pointless to play it any other way. And since I have no desire to improve my time, there's not really much incentive to play it ever again. Speedrunning ruining my fun. It's never happening again on this channel. I still think Reverie Under the Moonlight is very good for a casual playthrough. It will probably only take you about 4 hours, give or take. The Platinum's probably closer to 10 all in. But realistically, I could have just done the Platinum over the course of 2 playthroughs. 100% on hard with Imperishable and Pacifist, then a quick speedrun on Insane. But it felt easier to break it down into 4 playthroughs, and part of that was because I was writing a guide for my old channel. In fact, I did the Platinum like 3 times over to make sure my gameplay and strategies were up to scratch for that guide. I may be a slow video producer, but you can never say that I wasn't incredibly thorough during my guide writing days. So if you too want to get the Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight achievements for yourself, you can watch my All Achievements guide on my old channel, Recommended Playing. I'll put a link in the description and pinned comment below. Thanks for watching. You can do that YouTube business of liking the video and subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next video.